support the anti-hijacking bill 2016. This bill has been earlier passed by the Rajya Sabha, so it is almost compulsory for us to pass this legislation in the interest of the country. Sir, hijacking is one of the most heinous crimes towards humanity that one can think of. This was first used as a political weapon by the Palestinian terrorists in the late 60s. You must have heard of the famous hijacker Leela Khaled, who hijacked planes several times. They were only foiled, the Palestinian terrorists, by the Israelis when they took an aircraft to NTV in Uganda during Idi Amin's regime, and the Israelis brought their own commandos by plane and were able to disarm all those people. Earlier speakers have mentioned the several cases of hijacking that has taken place in the country. Of course, the most shameful case of hijacking was IC 814 during the NDA regime, when an aircraft from Kathmandu landed in Amritsar, but still could not be taken over by Indian security people. Ultimately, it flew to Kandahar, and we saw the spectacle of our foreign minister escorting the dreaded terrorist Masood Azhar to freedom in exchange of the lives of the hostages. Sir, an aircraft is a most vulnerable vehicle. Up 30,000 feet in the sky, in a pressurized cabin, any small explosion can cause the explosion in the aircraft, bring it down, causing death of a large number of people. That is why after this hijacking thing surfaced, the world stood up and took note, and in 1970, the Hague Convention was first passed. We passed our anti-hijacking law in 1982. But it always remains a question in my mind, when international conventions are adopted, why does India take such a long time to enact its own law? From 70 Hague Convention to 1982 anti-hijacking bill. Then again 2010 Beijing Convention, and then 2016 anti-hijacking bill by Sri Ashok Gajpati Raju. Why this huge time lags between passing of an international convention of an offense which is essentially international in nature and the actual legislation in the country is something that we should take care of. Sir, the new bill defines various important things. First, it defines what hostages are. Number two, it designates a special agency, the National Investigative Agency or NIA, to investigate all hijacking related crimes. Three, it calls for designated courts to go into cases, have trials for cases of hijacking. Most importantly, in Section 3, the legislation states specifically what hijacking is, and the new sort of hijacking is the electronic hijacking. Sir, you will be surprised to know that the Chinese have demonstrated this, that sitting in Beijing, they can immobilize an aircraft flying anywhere with electronic jamming. We have not been able to develop our cybernetics to the extent that we can counter this, because an aircraft is a fully computer dependent vehicle. So if somebody immobilizes our aircraft through electronic jamming, there is little we can do. The aircraft is also dependent on the its communication with the control tower. If that is put out of action, then also the aircraft becomes helpless. I am happy that the bill includes this matter. Whoever unlawfully and intentionally seizes or exercises control of an aircraft in service by force or threat thereof, or by coercion, or any other form of intimidation, or by any technological means, for the first time in the bill, this technological means, that of electronic warfare, commits the offense of hijacking. So the man need not even be on the plane itself. This is a point I want to mention. Mention has been made of the courageous, courageous efforts of Nirja Bhanot, on whom a very popular current film has been made. Yes, our Nirja, the film is called Nirja, you haven't seen it. Huh? You must see the Hindi films. They represent mainstream India. Nirja. So, all I want to say, sir, that the problem is very intricate problem. Now, 3 and 5 are the two sections defining the offense of hijacking. And then the special designated court, it denotes which are the places where the courts can decide on issues of hijacking. So the law has been made much better, though in a hijack situation, it's mostly death for one or the other. It's seldom that you capture a hijacker. It's normally you kill a hijacker. Or the hijacker kills, or he blows up the plane and blows up himself. Mentioned, sir, खत्म हो गया. आप सुनिए ना, आप इंटरेस्टिंग लगेगा, आप तो पक्का सोशलिस्ट है.
समय का दबाव है.
है, लेकिन लोहिया जी कहते थे कि ये हाउस को एक इनकिलाब का रंगभूमि बनाना चाहिए, तो कुछ भी बातें यहाँ ही बोलना चाहिए. और आप पक्का लोहिया ही ठोके, ये हाउस में तो ज्यादा टाइम देंगे.
लेकिन लोहिया जी भी समय के सीमा में ही बात रखते थे यहाँ. हाँ. वो कभी आसन के आदेश को उल्लंघन नहीं करते थे.
नहीं, लोहिया जी राजनारायण जी को ट्रेन किया कि हाउस को कैसे डिस्टर्ब किया जाए, खुद नहीं करते. हाँ जी.
आप क्या है, चेयरमैन साहब को याद दिला रहे पुरानी बातें उन डॉक्टर रामन और लोहिया जी की. अब जाके तो वो गोड़वड़कर गुरुजी और भागवत के झोली में गिरे. अब वो बात कैसी याद आती है? अब वो
देखिए,
नहीं करना चाहिए.
देखिए, मैं हुकुमदेव नारायण यादव जी को 77 से जानता हूं. जब वो जनता दल के सांसद थे, तब वो ये भाजपा वाले से नहीं मिले. आज वो दूसरा जगह है जरूर, लेकिन लोहियाइटी रह गए. ये मैं विश्वास, सर, मैं आई एम वाइटिंग अप. मैं उनको तो लोहियाइट करके उसको
इस विषय पर आके अब इसको
भी काफी नजदीक आ गए थे.
सर मैं खत्म.
सौगत राय जी, लोहिया जी भी काफी नजदीक आ गए थे, हमारे काफी नजदीक आ गए थे. और हमारे साथ ही मिलकर उन्होंने कहा था कि अलग से गैर कांग्रेस बात को आगे बढ़ाने की दृष्टि से जगह सरकारें बनवाई थी उन्होंने.
कलराज जी, आप यूपी के वरिष्ठ नेता है, लेकिन लोहिया जी का बेसिक जो थीसिस था वो था कास्ट स्ट्रगल, क्लास स्ट्रगल नहीं. तो कास्ट स्ट्रगल में वो हिंदू समाज में बंटवारा देखते थे, क्योंकि समाज दबा जाता. लोहिया जी के नाम आया, 2-4 बातें बोल दिया. क्या है सर? हाँ,
अब समाप्त.
अम्बेडकर, लोहिया, ये सब आरएसएस को पसंद नहीं करते थे. सर अल्टीमेटली 3 ही सजेशन मेरा है. एक तो अभी एयरपोर्ट सिक्योरिटी इज इन द हैंड्स ऑफ CISF.
सेंट्रल कर दीजिए.
सर समाप्त होगी, एक सेकेंड. सेंट्रल इंडस्ट्रियल सिक्योरिटी फोर्स अंडर द होम मिनिस्ट्री. आई वुड लाइक टू नो हाउ मच कंट्रोल योर मिनिस्ट्री हैज ऑन द CISF, who are totally in charge of frisking, checking everything. नंबर 2, देयर इज अ ब्यूरो ऑफ, सर हो गया सर, ब्यूरो ऑफ सिविल एविएशन।
नहीं, अब हो गया दादा।
हाउ इज इट फंक्शन?
तथागत जी,
आई वुड लाइक टू रिमाइंड यू ऑफ
Sir.
पेरीमीटर फेंसिंग। हमारा एयरपोर्ट में
your mic is-
बाहर से लोग,
your mic is not-
पता है, लेकिन जो फ्लो आ जाता है ना, बंद करना मुश्किल। सर आई होप
What do I? He's a senior member. I respect him. I'm very fond of him. I cannot disobey.
जी, इस बिल के
Sir,
लिए समय
I'll rush
उसी
through.
सीमा में इसको पास कराना है ना।
I will rush through, sir, this anti-hijacking bill 2014. The bill is good and I support it, except for a few clarifications that are required. This bill was considered by the Standing Committee on Tourism, and it seems, prima facie, it seems okay. There is this 2 or 3 points I would like to mention. There is this point about compensation. It is not mentioned exactly how compensations will be fixed. It has been left to the, not to the judiciary, but to the executive, as the Honorable Minister said. And so in a way it is good, because then with rising cost and with the rupee falling because of your governance system, they can give more money. But then the sad part is nobody wants that money. Nobody wants to be compensated. No family of any air traveler would like to receive any compensation. Everybody wants their family members to be brought home safe. And so therefore, this should, I hope and I pray, inshallah, that this is never used. Sir, death penalty has been stressed upon in this amended bill. I do not know if death penalty was a successful method, then we would not have had so many rapes and so many murders in this country. It is becoming a horrific social problem. So I do not know whether death penalty alone will be a proper deterrent, but I am not doubting this. But death penalty also should be chosen for very few specific crimes, and in my opinion, rape is one such crime that definitely deserves death penalty through a speedy court trial. So the next thing is what my honorable senior member mentioned earlier. CISF is a force that is guarding all our airports. Unfortunately, they are all very well-meaning Jawans and Sepoys and Havildar level of people who are guarding the airports. The airports are very high-tech establishments, and the CISF is not trained or not equipped to handle the exigencies that might arise at any time, which we saw during the first NDA government when that aircraft from Kathmandu to Delhi was hijacked. When it even landed in one airport at Punjab, our forces were incapable of stopping that aircraft. All they had to do is park a tanker in front. That would have been the end of the matter. We could not react on time. And the NSA today is like the NSA of those days. So that is something that should be thought about. The CISF is not the proper force, and I believe that it is time we developed a special force exclusively meant for airport security, who are trained in the latest latest technologies, who are well behaved. The behavior is a major part. They see a minister coming with 2 black cats, they salute them and they let them pass through the line. Sir, since you would have traveled abroad a lot, no matter who comes, no matter who the passenger is, everybody goes through the same scrutiny. So that list should be removed. No judges, no ministers, nobody should be allowed, because once we are in the air, it is our lives. It is not the lives of those people. And when a judge or a minister or some VIP, earlier you had family members, you know, koi pota, koi poti, koi mota, koi moti. So pota poti mota moti mein. Pota poti mota moti. So in those situations, you have other people going along with them who are definitely security threats, and that should be taken care of. There is a third point I would like to mention is there are these hoax calls and this fake hijacking, like it happened in Egypt, where a man wanted to meet his estranged wife. His wife had actually rejected him. His wife didn't want to live with him for reasons unknown to society and the world at large. But this man was so desperate for his wife that he hijacked a plane and forced it to land at Cyprus. And you would have watched the video, the television thing, the way he calmly and very coolly walked out of the aircraft and just walked away, and he was simply imprisoned. Whereas one of the crew members actually jumped out of the cockpit window and broke his leg. So this was seen all over the world. What I'm trying to say is that, sir, apart from commenting on the ability of our crew members and our cabin crew, do not wish to comment on that. I'm also saying that what special regulations do you wish to put into place to control, sir? Just because I am from Orissa, sir, you are punishing me.
समय कम है, नहीं तो आपको हम समय दिया करते हैं.
जी सर.
आज समय कम है, इसलिए आप भी इतनी.
सर 1 घंटा हमने टाइम दिया था. 1 घंटा. 1
घंटा में इस बिल को
घंटा सर. Sir, all that I am saying is, before I wind up, is that this is a bill that the Biju Janata Dal supports, but this is not stringent enough in the sense that it is not the punishment that matters. We must not allow hijacking to happen, and to stop that at the security level and at the airport level, you have to make things better, which you are not doing. You must have no VIP treatments for anybody. Everybody must be the same. This VIP culture must end in India. Thank you, sir.
Murli Mohan ji.
I welcome this bill, and my TDP party fully supports the bill. I understand that in the backdrop of the recommendations made in Beijing conference in 2010, the union government has thought it appropriate to bring this bill. India has been a signatory to the protocol supplementary to the convention at Beijing on the 10th day of September 2010, which deals with unlawful acts against civil aviation by new types of threats which require comprehensive amendments to the said act. This bill will replace the Anti-Hijacking Act 1982, defining hijacking and awards death penalty for hijacking in certain cases. The Anti-Hijacking Bill 2014, introduced in Rajya Sabha in December 2014, was referred to the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture, and the panel submitted its report in March 2015, suggesting various changes including making hawks calls a punishable offence and providing just and adequate compensation for victims of hijacking. The Chapter 1 of this bill says that the National Investigation Agency, NIA, is constituted under Section 3 of the National Investigation Agency Act 2008. My suggestion to the government is NIA should be further strengthened. Similarly, more manpower should be inducted in CISF. Chapter 2 deals with death penalty. The preparators of hijacking should be punished with a death penalty where such an act results in the death of any person. However, the bill does not provide compensation for the affected person in hijacking. In case of untoward incident of grievous injury or death, a compensation package to Indian victims of hijacking on foreign carriers, I propose that not less than ₹4 crores should be provided to the nearest relative of the deceased. I would earnestly request the government to accept my suggestion. Finally, I would earnestly request the union government to initiate a process with all the developing countries for setting up an international organization secretariat on anti-hijacking for safety and security of the passengers. With all these words, I fully support this bill, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I call the next man to speak, I request all the speakers who will be speaking hereafter, they should take at least 5 minutes only. Because of the time available is very limited, so I request to complete it within 5 minutes. B.N. Gaud. Shri B.N. Gaud.
Thank you, sir, for giving the opportunity. I won't take much time, but please don't hijack my time. I will only speak the point, sir. I won't take much time. The background of the bill is, sir, this bill is the suppression of the unlawful seizure of the aircraft, which was because of the protocol which was signed in The Hague and also recently the Beijing, sir. One is, I would like to speak regarding the clause number 11 of the bill, which provides the hijacking and related offences shall be extractable, that the accused can be transferred to the country of their legal jurisdiction. Further, these offences shall not be treated as a political offences. These are the 2 points, sir. Regarding the first point, extradition in every case creates the risk of inadequate trial of the accused. Why? Because, to illustrate, for the infamous Kandahar hijack in December 1919, CBI has named 10 accused, which included 7 Pakistanis, 1 Nepali, 2 Indians. They were all tried in the Indian courts and served the sentences. Suppose if the extradition is taken in every case, if they are tried in the Pakistan, I think no justice will be done. So we have to be very cautious about this point, sir. Second thing, the same people who are released from the court after they are accused and also tried in the court, these are the very people who are involved in the Kandahar hijack. They were again one people responsible in the 9/11 attack in the America, as well as in the Mumbai attack on the various hotels and other issues, sir. The second thing is, the clarification is regarding whether these accused care to be treated as a political ramifications. Most of these accused are from the Kashmiri political activity. Suppose you don't treat as a political activity related issues, it is going to have a serious ramifications internationally also, specifically for a country like India, sir. I would like to ask the minister, I asked this clarification, extradition clause is applicable to only those countries who have also signed the Beijing Protocol, or all other countries who have not signed also? That clarification I need, sir. The second thing is, what measures are being taken after the extradition? These accused would be fairly given appropriate punishment in the court if it is enemy country, sir, or any inimical country. These 2 points are very important, sir. The other thing is, sir, this bill does not speak about the compensation, sir. Recently, there is a Bollywood movie by name Neeraja. You know, sir, this Pan Am hijack which has occurred, where the Indians also killed, the Americans also killed, but it is a aircraft by the America, Pan Am aircraft. The Americans are compensated, but the Indians are not compensated. So unless until we make the compensation clause also very clear, irrespective of the country of the origin of the people, there will be a fairly loss of the people. Suppose especially advanced countries like Europe and America refuses to pay, stating that the law of their land does not allow compensation, we would be at loss, sir. With these few suggestions, I would like to support the bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sri Shankar Prasad Datta.
Honorable Speaker, sir, the anti-hijacking bill, which has been adopted in the Rajya Sabha in 2014, now it is in the floor of the House, sir, as anti-hijacking bill 2016. The bill seeks to repeal the Anti-Hijacking Act of 1982. We know it, sir. For the maintaining Hague Convention recommendation in the year 1917, and again the Beijing Convention of 2010, we, the people of India, our government was the signatory of that convention, sir. The bill defines hijacking as seizing control of an aircraft in service unlawfully and intentionally, sir. Related offense they maintained in the bill that attempt and abatement of hijacking. Number 2, making a credible threat to commit hijacking. And number 3, organizing or deterring, directing others to commit this act. Sir, I have objection in the case of punishment clause, sir. In the punishment clause, there are 3 major matters are there. One is death penalty, number 2 is life imprisonment, and number 3 is confiscation of all properties. But here, sir, I have the objection in death penalty as because many of the stalwarts of our country, as well as from the other parts of the world, they told that the death penalty puts innocent lives at risk. We saw that, sir, we the people of India cannot take the risk. Why shall we take the risk to catch the life of others? Number 2, sir, in the death penalty case we have seen that race and place determine who lives and who dies. There are so many cases in our country, in and elsewhere of the world, sir. It is determined on the caste, creed, race, religion, and other things, sir. So that this death penalty should not be here in the act, sir. Number 3, sir, for the death penalty, we have to pay millions of rupees. But instead of death penalty, if we accommodate the victim, the process of the case takes so many years, sir. So in this process, the family members of the victims, they faced very much trouble, sir. So instead of death penalty, if we spend the money for the purpose of the safety and security of the family members of the victim, I think, sir, it would be better. Sir, poor quality of defense we have seen. Poor quality of defense could provide death sentence to one and could provide death sentence, not death sentence to one person. In so many cases, we have so many examples that one advanced country, I have one example, sir. In United States of America, 68 persons case where death penalty has been proclaimed. Again, that matter has been reversed in the 68% cases, sir, in the case of strong defense. So, my request, sir, that should not be there inside the bill. Sir, capital punishment does not deter the crime. Sir, now I quote a matter, I think all will appreciate it, that the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi said, sir, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Sir, by giving death penalty, could we make it possible to stop the crime? Sir, I am concluding, sir. Sir, in this process, the father of our constitution, what Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar said in the case of death penalty, I am quoting, sir, the architect of the constitution, Baba Saheb Ambedkar, said, they certainly adhere to the principle of non-violence as a moral mandate, which they ought to observe as far as they possibly can. Again, Dr. Ambedkar said, the proper thing for this country to do is to abolish the death sentence. So, it is my request, and I urge upon the minister that death penalty should not be there and other things, stringent action should be there for the people who will involve in the case of hijacking. With this words I conclude, sir.
Sir, I thank you for